Hello, friends. Thanks so much for watching. Today's a rather special episode and a fun one for me. I'll be interviewing my fantastic new team members, Kelly Shaw, Bill McCarron, and Nick Kim. The three of them have joined us in the last year and have been extraordinary contributors to our culture and extraordinary contributors to the firm broadly in their areas of expertise. I think our interview gives you a sense of who they are and their stories, as well as the way we interact, the fun we have together, and some of the things that we try to learn and teach each other. So without further ado, I will cut to them. Thanks so much for watching. Hello, gang. It's nice to see you all.
See you.
Hello.
Great to see you, Fraser.
It's been a wild year for us. This time last year, we were half the size we are today, and it's sort of incredible. I think certainly in the last year, our firm's biggest growth has been from a team perspective, and it's been so fun working with you and seeing all of your faces every single morning. And this is fun to share with the viewers. So thank you all for making the time today.
Happy to be here.
Cool. So we're going to start out with names and backgrounds and what you do. And Kelly, can you take us away?
Sure. I'm Kelly Shaw. I'm an investor on the team, and my background is entirely in financial services, mostly in M&A, corporate venture capital, but with a short stint as a founder of a fintech as well.
Bill?
So my name is Bill McCarron. I'm the operations leader here at Vestigo. I oversee all daily operations of the fund, including financial planning, fund administration, investor communications, and kind of those related systems and processes. I began my career working at a Latin American private equity fund of funds and gradually moved into education technology as a senior financial analyst and controller of strategic partnerships.
Nick?
Oh yeah, so I'm Nick Kim here. I'm a data analyst here at Vestigo. Background's been in data science, basically from academia, and then spent some time working at a startup forecasting commodities for a bit. And then kind of moved over to the private market side where now I'm here at Vestigo, kind of helping source new companies and try to provide insights for kind of any of the data assets that we have.
Well, we're very lucky to have all of you. I think, Bill, despite the fact that we're an extremely small firm and we all do wear a number of hats, I think, Bill, you probably wear the most hats and therefore probably have the largest propensity to be surprised by things. So can you tell us maybe about a surprise or something that you've learned since you joined here?
I mean, I've definitely learned a lot, but I think actually what surprised me the most is kind of the depth of the relationships that we build with our portfolio companies. It's not just sharing of knowledge or data, or even just the access to our network, but really there are very few milestones, kind of both business and personal on both sides, that are not really shared or celebrated, and I think that level of trust and kind of engagement is not something you see every day in a business setting. So I think it speaks volume about the team and, really the culture that we built here.
That's fantastic. And I know we have written a bit about sort of remote work and what the future looks like, but Nick, you and I have worked together, or we worked together for the longest without having met in person, talking every single day and throughout the entire hiring process. What was that like for you?
I would say that it was a bit bizarre in the beginning, definitely, because just being used to working with people in person all the time was kind of like the standard and norm, and obviously like doing interviews and all that stuff. Also, you get to meet everybody before joining a firm. I would say that the infrastructure that Vestigo was able to provide and kind of give, like when I first joined, obviously helped out a bunch in making a very easy transition, even though it's kind of joining fully remote. So I feel like we didn't have much of any misstep kind of when I first got on board, even though it was fully remote. So in a sense, it was weird that I didn't get to meet everybody, but would also say that there wasn't many hiccups in terms of efficiency and being able to kind of get our work done and collaborate on a lot of stuff.
Well, I would certainly agree with that. And Kelly, we were lucky enough to get you after you finished up at HBS. And I think you've had a fantastic career even before coming to Vestigo and experienced a lot of different facets of our business. So tell us what you love about early stage venture.
Sure. Well, first off, What I love most is working with the Vestigo team. I think the different perspectives and everything everybody brings to the table really creates meaningful conversations and value in terms of our investing. The second is this is kind of the lowest on the investing spectrum I've delved into. And I think just the opportunity to be kind of at that first forefront of innovation, both from a business model and a tech side in fintech and in insurtech is wonderful.
That's great. And Bill, I think what's been particularly fascinating for me to observe, having not had any remote work experience prior to COVID, was getting to know you and learn sort of what an old hand you are at working remotely and helping build processes around distributed teams. You know, for Vestigo, when we went remote, there was certainly no planning at the outset. We just sort of learned as we went, and we're lucky to have had the relationship prior to it that's enabled us to communicate. But coming into an organization where you bring a lot of expertise in this area, could you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the new learnings and maybe some of the tricks of the trade you were able to share with us and help us out on?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I've been working remotely for a little bit over 3 years now. So overall, it's definitely a pretty seamless transition. You know, the only way for, you know, really any team that is working in a remote environment to really keep pushing things forward is, you know, to have detailed notes, trust, communication, and, you know, most important, you know, is really personal accountability, making sure you're doing the little things that make others' lives easier. And, you know, I think kind of a major component of that is, you know, the subtle passive communication, you know, and that's as simple as, you know, adding in a little bit more detail to your notes in our CRM, or, you know, just making sure that our, you know, filing and record keeping processes are organized and clean. But, you know, everybody was able to transition to that pretty quickly. So definitely great to be able to work with, you know, a bunch of stellar teammates.
Great. And Kelly, you already shared with us your perspective on why you love it. And I have to say, I couldn't agree more. I'd love to know maybe what some of the surprises or key learnings have been since you joined us.
Sure. So as I mentioned before, I had been primarily focused on A+ investments, and at the seed stage, you know, there's limited historicals. So for me, I think what the biggest learning I picked up from the team is kind of finding that jigsaw puzzle, if you will, of founder fit and product market fit by using other data points, and whether that's, you know, our own expertise, our network, our LPs, our own portfolio companies, and even our data. I think for me, kind of figuring out that puzzle of all those different pieces together has been really fun.
Thanks. So friends, thank you so much for all being here. Thank you for watching. You have now met our stellar new teammates, and we look forward, viewers, to meeting all of you again in person now that life is coming back to itself. So come see us in Cambridge, please. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.